this week on the show, we got a movie that some people have been anticipating, some people not. And me, I don't want to say indifferent. I'll say I was unsure. Let's talk about Birds of Prey, or the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. So in this movie, we have Margot Robbie, fantastic actress. I love Margot Robbie. She's so fucking talented. Her and I, Tonya, that was a great movie. She's returned as Harley Quinn, known by some people as the Joker's girlfriend. But this movie's about Harley. She's now broken up with Joker. She's trying to make it on her own. And along the way, she crossed paths with several other very notable, some famous DC female characters, including Renee Montoya, the Huntress, Black Canary, and Cassandra Cain. And they all end up going against big crime boss Black Mask. So the trailer for this came out several months ago. And let's talk about the trailer. I think I covered it before, but a lot of people were thrown off by the trailer because the movie's called Birds of Prey. And if you're unfamiliar, the Birds of Prey are a group of female superheroes that form in Gotham. And then that include Huntress and Black Canary. But the original Birds of Prey, from my understanding, included Batgirl, aka Barbara Gordon. And
didn't they have a TV show about that anyway?
Yes, in the early days.
It was the 90s, wasn't it?
No, it was the very early 2000s. This is like pre.
Because I remember watching it.
Yeah, it was on what's now the CW, was UPN back then, I want to say.
I don't remember. I was a child.
This was before Smallville.
Yes.
And it was Batgirl, but during her Oracle phase. You had Black Canary, or her daughter. And then you had Huntress, but instead of her being like this female assassin with a crossbow, she was the daughter of Batman and Catwoman, and she had cat powers, even though Catwoman does not have fucking cat powers. Or at least that's how I remember the trailer for that show, because I was like, I didn't know Batman and Catwoman had a daughter who fought crime. And then later I learned, like, oh no, that's not a thing. That's not who the fuck Huntress is, because she was in the Justice League cartoon. I was like, oh, this is not how it's presented to me on UPN, or whatever. It was like UPN or something. I don't remember. But the Birds of Prey did make a cameo in the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover on for CW. In fact, one of the original cast, the actress who played Black Canary on that, plays Alice, the villain on the Batwoman TV show. So that's a little interesting.
I thought she looked familiar.
Yeah. Well, when she did Birds of Prey, she was like, I looked it up, she was only like 19 when she got that role.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that was a while ago. And but she really hasn't aged that much, to be honest.
She looks fantastic.
Yeah. And even though I Krish, last time he was on the show, we talked about this. Neither of us are a big fan of Batwoman, but I will say that Alice, the villain, is the best part of that show.
I've been watching, so I've not actually watched Batwoman, but I watch Jay Longbone on YouTube. She watches every single episode of Batwoman.
Oh, yeah, I think I've heard of her.
Yeah, she does a review of every single episode, and she rips it to shreds. She hates that show so much.
Yeah, that show's pissing off a lot of it brings me such comfort to know it's just not me and Krish. There's other people we could reach out to. And I hate saying that because I was actually kind of excited for it a little bit. And I brought this up, but we'll go over it again real quick. I was excited for a couple of reasons. One, when they first introduced her in the Arrowverse crossover Elseworlds, she wasn't fantastic, but she caught my interest. I was like, this seems kind of cool. Plus, on top of the fact, as much as I love Batman, grew up with Michael Keaton and the Batman animated series and all that, Batman, I feel like in media has been oversaturated.
So much. Yeah. And we're getting a new fucking Batman. Like, can we just stop?
Yeah. It's like, I love Batman, but fuck.
Fucking Christ. I'm not, again, I will say, I'm actually not mad about Robert Pattinson's casting for Batman. I'm not. And also fucking Colin Farrell as the Penguin. I'm fucking down for that shit. Anything Colin Farrell's going to be in, I will watch. But I don't know. We just had Batman in like 2015, 2016. When was Batman versus Superman?
That was 2016, and then Justice League was 2017.
It's just too many fucking Batmans.
Yeah. That's it. Once again, I love Batman, but he's always in live action, whether it's TV or movies. And then, of course, you have the comic books, and then you have all the DC animated movies that they release on straight to DVD, and how often is Batman in them, and which is it's Batman. I get it, but Anyway, then the point was that Batman's oversaturated, but I'm always excited when they give some spotlights to other members of the Bat family, which is why I was kind of excited for Batwoman. And then I watched Batwoman, and I was like, God damn it. But anyway, we won't shit on Batman because I've done so much on the show before. But anyway, so let's get into Birds of Prey. Once again, we see the return of Margot Robbie. She's joined by, like I said, Renee Montoya, who's played by Rosie Perez, who we don't see that often anymore. Mary Elizabeth, her name looks like Winstead, but I've heard people pronounce it Winstead. But Mary Elizabeth Winstead, I love her. I think she's great because she was in 2 movies that I really enjoy. One was Sky High, which I think is an underrated.
I love Sky High.
Thank you. That movie.
Was she in Sky High?
She was Royal Pain. She was the villain.
Oh fuck! It's been so long since I've seen that movie. Yeah. It's such a good movie, though.
Yeah, and it's really underrated. It didn't do that well, but honestly, I think it was a fun kids film with superheroes.
No, it's fantastic.
Yeah, and she was also, of course, Ramona Flowers in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Yeah. Okay, I did. Yeah, I remember her from there.
Yeah, and then we have Journey Smollett-Bell, who plays Dinah Lance, aka Black Canary, and then also we have Ewan McGregor playing Roman Sionis, aka Black Mask.
I didn't actually recognize Ewan McGregor. It was more of kind of like one of those what is that moments where you're like, what is it? It's that where you feel like something's not quite right. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But like I was looking at him and I was like, I feel like I know this person, but I don't know this person. But then what I found out is just he's lost a lot of I guess for the role they wanted him to be fucking stick figure because he is very gaunt, and that's why I didn't recognize him.
Okay. Well, I just saw him in Doctor Sleep last year, so he's pretty fresh in my mind, which, although a good movie. But anyway, so let's get into this. So, all right, so Sarah, let's both give our initial thoughts, just our initial thoughts, like a little 1-minute dealy here. Do you want to go first with your initial thoughts? Or do you want me to go first?
I mean, I can go first. That's fine.
Well, you're my guest. I want to give you the option.
So I honestly don't remember the trailer. I know I watched the trailer, but I don't remember the trailer. That's how enthusiastic I was for this movie. No, honestly, I was kind of like meh. This is the type of movie that I would have waited to see by renting or waited to see if it was on Netflix or if I could get it somehow free off the internet. So going into it, I didn't have high expectations, and it basically just kind of flatlined. Like, I don't feel like it was bad. I don't feel like it was good. I just there were some funny moments, but for the most part, I just kind of sat there. I almost fell asleep near the end. I'm not going to lie. I was really tired. I closed my eyes.
I heard
So, yeah.
At one point with you.
There was just that one. It was right when it was near the end, and it was just a lull in activity, and I was just like, oh, God, when is this going to be over? And I also knew that we were coming up to another long-ass action scene because there were many of them. Mm-hmm. A long-ass action scene, and I was like, can I sit through this again? Like, okay. But anyway, that was my thought. I was like, I would honestly just say, if you're very enthusiastic about it, go see it, but don't have your hopes up.
All right. Well, here's good. I think my little initial thoughts. I think you and I are pretty much on the same page here. I think that I think the story has flow issues. Like,
yes.
Not that it dragged, but nothing felt natural. And I'm probably gonna get. I feel like I'm not gonna be the only person who's gonna say this in regards to this film, but I feel like I'm probably still get shit for it. There was a lot of things in this film that made me go, this feels a lot like Deadpool. This feels
I was thinking the exact same thing.
There's so many elements. There are scenes out of order. The main character is goofy and crazy. Is narrating throughout the whole thing. And then there's goofy, bloody action, which I'm fine with that. But there's a lot of things where I was like, this seems like Deadpool, but if they did X-Force in the first Deadpool. Yeah.
No, I will say though that even though there is a lot of bloody violence, it's not as bloody as Deadpool. I feel like Deadpool goes over the top.
Deadpool definitely did it better.
But no, I agree. It's very much like this is the female Deadpool.
Yeah. And I'm not saying it's a total copy and paste. It does do different things, but that kept popping up in mind. Plus, I think we'll get into this, but I think one of the big problems I had with the movie is I don't think there are any proper bonds formed between the main characters.
No.
So let's get to let's first, of course, start with Harley Quinn, played by Margot Robbie. Once again, I love Margot Robbie. I really enjoyed her as Harley Quinn in Suicide, even though personally I think the Suicide movie is just okay at best. I only actually saw it once. I've heard from a good friend that the more you watch it, the more it irritates you or you find problems. But I thought once again she did a good job as Harley Quinn performance wise. I don't know, how are you feeling about it?
I think she's a great pick for Harley Quinn. I think she's a great actress to begin with. I've seen her in a lot of things, and I feel like she has such a range. Like, she can just do anything. I've not seen her fail at anything. I think she's a great Harley Quinn, and I think she was, in my opinion, the star of the show. I mean, I know she's supposed to be the star of the show, but, like, she really is the star of the show.
Oh, yeah, and that was one of the things I was going to mention this earlier, but I get cut up in Batwoman. God damn you, Batwoman. Anyway, but that was one of the things people had problems with the trailer that is called Birds of Prey, but the first trailer showed so much of Harley Quinn and so little of Huntress and Black Canary and Renee Montoya. People are like, is this a Birds of Prey movie or is this just a Harley Quinn? And to be fair, like, I don't think anybody who knew this movie didn't know that Harley was going to be the main character. Yeah, you got the main cast, but she's going to be the focus. But yeah, no, she's definitely the majority of this film.
And to be like, I feel like it's not. They, as always with any big franchise, they've obviously set it up for a sequel. I don't think that's a surprise for anybody. No. They're trying to launch the DC universe, etc. I feel like as a starter for the Birds of Prey, this is just one long intro movie.
Yes.
Like, it's not, you don't even, it's just, I don't want to spoil it or anything, but
we'll get into spoilers later.
But it's just like, it felt like one long intro movie with Harley Quinn narrating. So take like the opening scroll of Star Wars and elongate it to 2 hours and have Harley Quinn read it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Oh man. All right. Yeah, there was a point towards the end of the movie, like right before like the final confrontation between Harley and the main villain, where I was like, I thought to myself, what is this movie about? Like, it's kind of, I mean, part of it is Harley like getting out on her own, I guess, but it just feels like that's her story, and everyone's got their own story. But I don't feel like there's a main story. It's just like a bunch of. It's just like
no, I really don't. It's very. I mean, they do say in the title the emancipation of like Harley Quinn, blah 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 blah. So, but there is it's such a weak plot. Yeah. It's such a weak plot that you're just kind of left staring at there, going, "What was the message? Like where were we going with this?" Yeah. I mean, you kind of like even. You know, characters are supposed to change over time, and I don't feel like there was any character development.
Yeah.
For any of the characters. There was nothing.
Yeah. And with Harley, see, the problem with my issue with the character development, and this isn't like really a spoiler because most people know this, like Joker isn't in the movie. Like you kind of see him briefly a couple times, but it's like so briefly because they use one little bit of footage from Suicide Squad, and then they use one other where you can tell it's not Jared Leto, it's just some guy and they're just shooting and he's got
the back of his head.
The back of his head. But the problem with Harley Quinn breaking up with the Joker and saying that she's moving past him is, I don't know about you guys, but I need to see her interacting with Joker and telling her it's done, it's over, and there's no real that they're missing that interaction, and that kind of like stunts any development. Her development is like her giving a crap or like finding confidence in herself.
I think that's okay. So I will say this as a woman. So originally when Justice League came out, not Justice League, Suicide Squad. I don't know why I said Justice League. Anyway, when Suicide Squad came out, everybody knows every woman dressed up as Harley Quinn for popular. Freaking Halloween that year, and every woman was like putting up Harley Quinn and Joker memes saying you want to love like this, etc. So there's a lot of backlash because no, you don't want to fucking love like that.
That's the whole point terrible. Of their relationship. It's abusive.
Terrible. So I will say in this throughout the whole movie, Harley Quinn directly says. At one point, she directly says, do you know what a harlequin is? A harlequin exists to just be with a master, and she doesn't know what to do with herself because she has no master. And so I guess the point of the movie is to show that she becomes her own person and doesn't need a master. But, like, I feel like you get that in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, because there's a scene which we'll get into spoilers, which it goes back to my problem about I need to see her and the Joker and like the actual breakup happen. Which I get. Listen, Jared Leto's out as a Joker, and they weren't going to ask him to come back, especially after the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. I get that, but it that's yeah, that kind of happened in the first minute. It's just after that, it doesn't feel first 20, 25 minutes. What you said. After that, it just doesn't feel like her proving it to herself. It feels like her proving it to everybody in Gotham that's trying to kill her because they wouldn't touch her before because she's with the Joker, but now that she's on her own, it's like she's...
It's like a euphemism, you guys know that stereotype, which as a woman, it is true, where if a guy hits on you and you say, I have a boyfriend, automatically they're like, oh, off limits. Yeah. Or like, oh, you only have value if you have a boyfriend, whereas you don't have value if you don't have a boyfriend, or you're like weaker if you don't have a boyfriend. So like, I feel like that's what it was touching on. But, I feel like after the first 20 minutes, I mean, it's understandable why a lot of people want her dead. She's kind of a cunt. So, like, and she's pissed off a lot of people that have no qualms about murdering people. So, yeah. Like, but they're not really, I don't know how to describe it. So what, she broke up with the Joker. I mean, I don't feel like she has to prove to them that she's good on her own. She just has to survive. Like, yeah.
That's the funny thing. Talking about this now, like having her prove to other people who she is, it's funny to me because this is something that, a lot of people hated this movie, or at least they hated the actress who played the main character in the movie I'm about to say. But this is something Captain Marvel got right. Like at the end when she's talking to Jude Law's character and he's like, come on, show me what you can do without your powers, fight me. And she just blasts him. She does him like, I don't have anything left to prove to you. And that's like, I feel like that's what Harley's missing. It's just like, she says, I am Harley fucking Quinn. It's like, yeah, you're Harley fucking Quinn. What do you... It's like...
I don't think she ever had anything to prove, though. Like, my thing is I never felt that she had to prove to them because they all take her seriously. Like, they all are afraid of her. They all know that she can beat the fuck out of them. So, like, what is she proving? In reality, they're just after her because she's been a bitch to them, and they're like, we want to kill you now because Joker's not in the picture.
Yeah. Well, once again, Margot Robbie, performance-wise, gets it. She's funny. She's cute. She's creepy at times, a little creepy, but it's more that cute psychopath thing. Margot Robbie's got that down. But as far as like her character development, it's like, I don't know, just, yeah. But let's talk about some of the other characters. Let's talk about Rosie Perez playing Renee Montoya.
That was the cop lady, right?
The cop lady, yes. Who's I'm not too familiar with Renee Montoya. I was aware of the character. I know she was a detective / cop that worked out of Gotham. Probably I mostly know her from the Injustice comics because I've read up on the Injustice comics, or at least I've just uploaded the panels. But anyway, she's doing the cop detective thing.
She's there.
Yeah, her captain keeps her down. He's this jerk off who like takes credit for her work, and she's trying.
That's a theme that's all through the movie.
Yes, men
equal bad.
This is gonna come up. I
got rants.
There's several YouTube channels that I'm already gonna be checking out. I'm like, these motherfuckers. I know exactly what these motherfuckers are gonna say. So and Rosie Perez, like, I guess I liked her. I don't know. Like, she
was just there.
Yeah, and so like once again, it's not like not a bad performance by Rosie Perez as Renee, but it's just like, she's doing her thing. She's trying to building a case against the main villain.
I didn't understand her storyline. Like, I got it. I understood she was building a case against the main villain. But nobody wanted to take her seriously. And it was never insinuated that maybe he had them in his pocket.
Yeah.
I assume that's maybe what it was, but they don't insinuate that. So that's just me putting something on the movie.
Yes, because her captain and her partner do not respect her. Because her captain, they have a history where he takes credit for her shit. And he obviously, I guess he's trying to keep her down because he knows how good she really, and he's too insecure. And then her new partner is just an idiot. They're both dudes. And then they
just treat her like complete trash. Like, her opinion doesn't matter, nothing matters. Except yet she solves all these cases. So I'm like,
and then there's like her ex-girlfriend who's the DA in the and she doesn't help her out too. So I guess Like everybody's just crapping on Renee Montoya, which I don't. Is that how her character? Well, again, I'm not really familiar with her character in comics. I don't know if that's how she is in the comics, but
I honestly don't know either.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. I was having trouble feeling her struggle. Like I get it. She is a damn good detective, but all her colleagues like will not show respect and are keeping her down. But I don't know.
All of her scenes were so short too that I didn't get a feel like I didn't care about her one way or another. Like,
I think that also has to do with the going the back and forth between time. They're like jumping back, like once again, like in Deadpool did that. I felt like Deadpool did that a little bit better with the jumping back, because there's definitely some jumping back here and there and here to there that got me a little confused at times, where I was like, okay, wait a second, okay, she's talking to Black Canary right now. Is this conversation happening after or before this thing right here? That was the one moment that she has a conversation with Black Canary, like in the hallway. I was like, wait, what point in the timeline are we in right now? So that got me confused. Okay, on to. Let's talk about Dinah Lance, aka Black Canary, played by Journey Smollett-Bell. What did you think of her?
She's gorgeous, first of all. Absolutely stunningly beautiful woman.
Hell yes.
I was like, I would go lesbian for you in a fucking heartbeat. I want, like, oh my gosh, she's beautiful.
Totally. Yeah.
Fucking gorgeous. Again, I don't feel any way about her. Like, I will say this, though, like, I actually felt her struggle more than I felt the cop struggle.
Yeah.
Because the actress had the ability to emote with her eyes in a way that really made you feel the internal struggle.
Yeah. I felt for her more than I did Renee, because I think because like she works at the Villains Club, Black Mask's Club, and her interactions with Black Mask and his right-hand man, Victor Zaz, who I'm familiar with his character too, because that character was on Gotham. Before I stopped watching Gotham. He's like, and they did the whole Victor where he likes cutting people up, and he cuts himself for every person he kills. Her interactions with like the main villains, I thought really helped her character. Like I got her, like she's like, she's just trying to make it by, she has her superpowers, but she has reasons for not using them, which we'll get into in the spoiler section. But she's just trying to get by.
It's a really weak reason, though. I'm sorry.
That part they needed to develop more. That part
was so underdeveloped.
Yeah.
It's only like in a brief 1 minute conversation.
Yeah. Throwaway is like, oh, okay, that's why you're the way you are. I guess. I mean, whatever. Then we're moving on. But yeah, I liked her more than I did Renee Montoya. I think it's because her constant interaction with the main villain, who we'll get into Hugh McGregor's performance. It's like. There's some scary motherfuckers, and she's just trying to do her job. She doesn't care about justice. She has. But yeah, I liked her more than Renee. And then let's get into the last member. Like I guess Cassandra's part of the Birds of Prey too, but we're getting to the last actual crime fighter member. Helena Bertinelli, aka the Huntress, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead/Weinstead, because I still haven't figured out how to say that. She got the short end of the stick. In my opinion.
Yeah. I think she was the best. Like, I feel like, I don't know how to put it. I actually thought she was the most badass. Like, I actually was more into her character. You see at the very end of the movie, she actually gets to, participate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want more. I want more of her.
Yeah. She has some, here's the thing. She doesn't really get a proper introduction. We see her a few times, but she doesn't get a proper introduction until more than halfway through the film. Because I remember there was a point where I looked at my phone to see what time it was. And yeah, she doesn't really get a proper, we see her kind of come in and out. But she's just because we're spending a lot of time with Harley or Black Canary. Which I will say, as much as this movie focuses a lot on Harley Quinn, there was a good chunk of the movie where it's Harley was out of it and we were just focused on Black Canary and Renee Montoya. That was kind of nice. But Huntress, she shows up pretty late in the film. She does have memorable moments. I will give it that. Mm-hmm. I mean, she looks pretty cool with her little crossbow. But
she is a badass.
Yeah, I like how her character, she's the amateur. She's a green thumb. She's new. She's not really used to. She can fight like a badass, but she doesn't necessarily talk as much as badass. She's trying to do her intro. They call me Huntress, and like she gets interrupted. Yep. So there's some fun moments there. Like there's personality in her.
Yes,
there's some real personality. Not that the other characters don't have a personality, but I just felt like
their personality is boring.
a little bit of some of them. But with like I don't know. I think Mary Elizabeth brought it out. I thought she did good. I do kind of want to see more of her. Like because like her backstory is tied to like what is tied to the main villain. In a way,
yeah.
And
to be honest, I knew who she was the whole time. Like I knew it from the moment because they make it very clear who she is the whole time. They really hand feed you. But I mean, which is fine. Honestly, it doesn't actually matter. Like it's not a big reveal. Like I don't know if they were making it like they were intending it to be a big reveal, but there was no shocking moment, nor did I care.
Yeah, because, I mean, especially if you watch the TV show Arrow, you're familiar with Huntress, and the second you hear her family, her actual last name, know her family, you're like, oh, this is where we're going. I felt like, and just made me think about, like, in Suicide Squad, like, the way, like, remember a Katana, she shows up in Suicide Squad, like, really right before the actual plot starts?
I never watched Suicide Squad.
Oh, you innocent.
Sorry.
You innocent.
I've seen scenes of it, and I was like, no.
No, it's okay.
I'm not going to watch that.
It's okay. It's fine. But, like, Katana shows up really late to the group, and then I felt like Huntress was kind of the same way. But no, Huntress is more memorable than Katana, which, like, no disrespect to the actress who played Katana, but it's like, is overstuffed. That's the one thing I'll give this over Suicide Squad. In a way, like, because it's a problem with Suicide Squad, there was too many fucking characters in Suicide Squad. They needed to cut the fat on that motherfucker. With this one, less characters, and yet the development is still not there for some of them.
No.
It's weird.
It's funny because Marvel does fantastically with tons of freaking characters.
Shh, you'll bring the DC motherfuckers down upon us. No, I'm just kidding.
Look, it's a fucking fact. Marvel movies have been done better.
Consistently better.
Better.
I can name all the good, at least what I think are the good DC films, all in one hand, and I don't even need the whole hand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm just saying? But because I like Wonder Woman, I like Shazam.
The Dark Knight trilogy was good. I enjoyed it.
Well, yeah. Well,
I actually like number 3 the best. Is my favorite, and I know that's like contentious. Like people argue with that with me all the time, but that was my favorite one. I enjoyed Bane. I don't know. I liked Bane.
I like the Dark Knight Rises too. They totally did a totally different version of Bane because in the comics, I'm pretty sure Bane had nothing to do with the League of Assassins or League of Shadows. I've heard it said both ways.
I have no idea.
But no, I liked that new version of Bane. It was interesting. But yeah, no, the Dark Knight trilogy is not considered part of the current franchise, but whatever. If Dark Knight trilogy didn't happen, this current franchise wouldn't be fucking happening.
Well, is the new Batman going to be a part of the current franchise? Like
that is so
very confused.
Because see, the Ben Affleck Batman is gone.
I know, but did he ever exist? Because Wonder Woman still exists. Yeah. Aquaman exists.
Well, that's the thing. They're keeping the connected universe thing. That's done now. So everyone's doing their solo films because the solo films are doing money. Oh, check it out. When you do solo films and develop them properly, people like it. But yeah, so Ben Affleck's Batman, he's done. He's gone. Ben Affleck is totally done. Oh crap, what's his name?
Robert
Pattinson Batman, directed by Matt Reeves. That's coming up, and as far as I know, that is separate from the other movies, unless they flashpoint the shit out of stuff. Because when I heard, the Flash movie is still coming, and it's definitely going to be flashpoint.
I'm actually I love Ezra. Like, I love Ezra Miller, and I will say I have not seen him in Justice. I've not seen most of the DC movies because I have a really hard time wanting to commit 2 hours of my life to a DC movie. I just struggle. But I love Ezra Miller. Like, I've seen him in so many things. He's one of my favorite actors, and I'd like to see him in a Flash movie. So...
Krish Mohan, our friend who's been on the show several times, is down in the comment section for our live stream for those of you watching on Facebook. And Krish agrees with you, Sarah. He says it's a good idea that you didn't watch those movies because he said that's 90 minutes of my life I can never get back. So Krish and you are allied on this. One thing that got carried over from Suicide Squad into this movie was kind of some of the graphics. In a way, because in Suicide Squad they did that thing where like graphics would show up and they'd be all like neon bright because the final movie we got was edited by a trailer company, the company that makes trailers, because the Suicide Squad trailer did so well that they're like, it's a long fucking story. We won't get into it.
It's so different than okay.
And that's why Suicide Squad is the editing in Suicide Squad is so bad, because the way you edit a movie trailer is way different than the way you edit a full-length movie.
Yep.
But they had like these little graphics show up. Little graphics show up in this movie too, but they're not neon bright in your face, or they just kind of show like a character. Because a lot of people are trying to kill Harley Quinn. When somebody shows up, they show a little graphic as what's their name, what Harley did to them, why they want to kill her, and they did it a little bit better than Suicide Squad. It's like a little carryover, I guess.
Again, it was very Deadpool-esque.
Yes. Yeah.
Very, very Deadpool-esque.
Yeah, oh my God.
Which is, like, again, I'm not going to be mad because inspiration is fine. And Deadpool doesn't own that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. It felt like some of the moments of violence were supposed to be very Deadpool-esque. Like, that's what it came across to me
just like
as.
less like, ooh, but not much, but not as gory. It's like, ooh, a lot of broken bones and ooh, that kind of stuff. But not nowhere near as bloody.
It's just like violence out of nowhere, too. Like, just randomly, just random violence. And I'm just like, it's hard. I guess maybe I just don't know Harley Quinn super, super well as a character. Is she naturally that just violent all the time? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, as a Joker's girlfriend, she will not be afraid to crack you over the head with a blunt instrument, knock you out, make you bleed. In the comics over the years, she's gained a lot of fighting skills, so she can throw down. But there's one scene that we both agreed where, like, we're gonna get the spoiler. That was But anyway, so I'm trying to think.
What about Cassandra?
Oh, Cassandra Cain. Yeah. So Cassandra Cain is definitely one of those characters that I am the least familiar with. I have no idea what she's like in the comics.
I didn't even know she was in the comics. I thought she was just invented for this movie to have a plot.
No. Yeah, she's from the comics. I will say, in the movie, she plays this young girl that's a pickpocketer, and
the movie revolves around her, basically.
Yeah, the birds of prey, and she's still something that the villain wants, and that's basically she's there to like bring everybody, all the main characters together, because she has the MacGuffin item, she has the thing that they want for the thing.
Yeah.
She was fine. I mean, I'm not familiar with the actress Ella J. Basco. She's a young actress.
She's okay. I felt like some of her line delivery was very awkward.
Yeah, a little bit.
It didn't feel. There are some really amazing child actors out there and actresses, and I don't feel like she's quite up there with that. But again, I don't know if she's done too much other stuff. This could be one of her first movies or something.
According to IMDb, no, she hasn't done a lot. She has an episode of Grey's Anatomy, episode Happy Land, Glimpse of Heaven, which is some kind of short film, Superior Donuts, Veep, which is a big show. I know that gets got a lot of Emmys or whatnot. And a show called Teachers, and then Birds of Prey is the first thing she's done in 3 years, it looks like.
Then yeah, so she probably just doesn't have the experience.
Yeah, because she wasn't bad. She has a few like nice moments, but nothing like, oh my God, like, But hey, it's whatever. She's growing as an actress in career, so I'm not gonna. So.
No, I mean, I think she was fine.
Yeah,
I don't think she was amazing, but she was good. Like, I mean, she's good enough. I don't have any real complaints.
Yeah. All right. So before we get into spoilers, let's give. You kind of already gave your recommendation. So do you recommend this film? Not recommend this film, or is something I've been doing? Like, if you're gonna see it during the matinee and save yourself a few bucks. What would you say?
I would say the same thing. If you're like a really big DC Universe fan and you love Harley Quinn, see it during matinee. If you're not that big of a fan, rent it. It is not as bad as Suicide Squad. So I don't think you'll be.
I would definitely give it that.
I don't feel like you'll feel like it's a waste of time to watch it.
Yeah. I'm going to say the same thing. It's like, it's not bad, but it feels bland in a lot of places. Yep. It feels like again, Margot Robbie is probably the best part of the film. Oh, we did. I realized we didn't really talk about Ewan McGregor. I actually like Ewan McGregor as the villain.
Yeah, so I like. Here's my thing is. I just want to say this about him. He's I liked him as a villain, but his villain was so over the top. Like it felt like a character. I can't say this word.
Caricature?
Yes, thank
Caricature.
you. I cannot say that word. But it felt like if you take the most misogynistic man that you can find and like multiply him by a bajillion, there's your main villain.
Yeah, his character is supposed to be gay, and I think that definitely comes across in the film.
Yes, it
and
does.
Because of that, because he's a villain and he's very emotionally unstable, they make him very flamboyant. I'll definitely say that. They make him very flamboyant because I guess because he's gay, but also on top of the fact that he's definitely emotionally unstable.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure him and Victor Zaz are fucking. I'm pretty sure him.
I got that vibe.
Yeah.
I got that vibe.
Which I don't know if like in the comics, I don't know if Black Mask is gay. I don't know.
I just
about
tried to look it up on Wikipedia and could not find it on Wikipedia if he's gay or not. So I don't know.
Yeah, which I'm fine. I don't care. It's like, it's a new rendition of the character. Yeah.
I guess maybe that's his motivation for hating women, but he fucking hates women.
Yeah,
it makes it very clear he hates women.
Yeah. Which is like, I get it. It's an all-female cast. Was the main cast of heroes or anti-heroes or anti-villain, I guess you could say. So I get like that kind of makes sense. But you would, I don't know. I like is either because his problem is like his dad. They mentioned him and his dad. His dad was an asshole. He treated him like crap, and he's trying to
you get his whole backstory in like one line from Harley Quinn.
It's like bad exposition. It's like she delivers it in a fun way, but still exposition. Like it's just okay. Oh, so this is why you're a jackass. I thought it was gonna be something like, oh, his mom was a piece of shit, and that's why he hates women. Like he's because his mom was a piece of shit or something.
He's very one-dimensional. He's just literally woman hating man who likes like shiny shit. I don't know. Like he literally
wants to show off how rich and how well he's done.
Yeah, that's it. That's literally all he is.
Yeah. So I'll say if you're gonna see this movie, see it during matinee or like your local theaters, like cheap day where you get like cheap tickets or something. Yeah, 'cause it just feels really bland in a lot of places. Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn once again, great Harley Quinn. I think she's the best part of the film. The action is nice in spots. Brutal.
It's very long.
Yeah. Some action scenes are a little too long.
Music's good. Music's great.
Oh yeah, nice,
I enjoyed the music and the soundtrack. I've been listening to the soundtrack for a while before I even went and saw the movie because if you guys don't know, Doja Cat, who did the I'm a Cow song that went viral in 2018, she's one of my favorite rappers of all time. I love her music. And she does Boss Bitch is the first song you hear in a club scene at the very beginning of the movie. And it's just fucking amazing song. Like, it's just fucking amazing. And the music video is absolutely amazing, too. So I highly recommend. Look it up. But, I mean, the soundtrack's good. I enjoyed that. So.
Yeah, I got no issue with soundtrack. It's definitely not just, like, them throwing shit at you. Like, Suicide Squad, that was another complaint. People like, Suicide Squad had a great soundtrack because the soundtrack was all popular songs that had done well in the past, like, 30 years. And they just got threw them in there. But anyway, yeah, soundtrack was nice. Hey everybody, hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want to see a full episode, I live stream every Thursday night on Facebook right after I see the movie, or you can tune in to the Revenge Online Radio Network every Friday morning at 9 a.m. If you enjoyed the show, please consider contributing to the Patreon, patreon.com/PO Vincent.